to our top story. Tensions escalating between Iran and the U.S. As we mentioned, Iran shot down a U.S. unarmed military drone over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran claims the drone was in a spy mission and was flying in Iranian airspace. Washington says the drone was targeted in international airspace in an unprovoked attack. The drone, by the way, costs about $110 million, according to officials. All right, let's get more insight on this with Dr. Iman Foroughtun. He's a spokesperson for the Iran Liberation Congress. That is a group working towards the elimination and the removal of the Islamic Republic in Iran by a non-violent civil disobedience. That's a quote from them. Dr. Foroughtun, good to have you back on the show with us. As we mentioned, you advocate regime change. Can you tell us what you've been hearing from your resistance sources on the ground? How are they viewing this?
Thank you for having me today. In fact, 3 days ago, we had credible information from inside Iran that two things are happening. The regime is purging the top level of the Revolutionary Guard and especially the military top brass in fear of an internal coup. And number two, that within the next 2 to 3 weeks, Islamic Republic government, they're going to actually start doing some attacks against the United States and its assets. There's two thoughts about why they would want to do that. One is to actually bring in the United States in a conflict, because in the past the Islamic Republic has used those type of conflicts to, number one, actually lock down and start taking its own opposition inside Iran into jails, and secondly, use that as an excuse with the Iranian people that we're being attacked by foreigners. Another thought is that since President Trump has been saying that we're not looking for war or anything like that, another thought is that they said, well, if they do this, then maybe they can bring the United States closer to negotiation. However, just about an hour ago, I just got news, you probably have had it, that in the White House there was this top secret meeting in the Situation Room with President Trump had invited the top congressional leaders, Pelosi, Schumer, McCarthy, and the other person, McConnell. And in that meeting, there have been CIA Director Gina Haspel, General Dunsford, the Chief of Staff of Military, Mike Pompeo, Acting Defense Secretary Shanahan, and also Mark Espen. And when they came out of the meeting, Mr. McConnell, the leader of the Senate, U.S. Senate, said that U.S. is going to and will respond, have a measured, quote-unquote, measured response against Iran. This is something we've all been afraid of, because this measured response could actually, we don't know what it is. We hope it's not something big. We were hoping the United States would not fall for this.
Yeah, I mean, I hear your point that this in a way would be taking Tehran's bait because it wants to provoke the U.S. here. What is the resistance in Iran hoping will happen? What do they want the U.S. to do very quickly?
As of last night, when I had a few messages myself personally, they're saying people are anxious. People inside Iran are waiting for some kind of a catalyst, some kind of something that will happen which cause them to get into the streets and start doing what they've always wanted to do, for at least for the last few years, to bring down the regime and have demonstrations. But that's what they're hoping. Inside, we have limited now information from inside the military and army, except what I just told you. They're clamping down on these. So we all are hoping that this will not spread out, and indeed it will be a measured response. We're hoping it wouldn't happen, but hopefully nothing bigger than that will happen. But things are getting very, very sensitive right now.
Dr. Iman Foroughtun, thank you for joining us tonight.